Well, hello everyone. This is Rick Passek, the FlyFish Fanatic, and welcome to my tying bench. Today we will be tying a heavy, little spazzy kind of stonefly pattern. It's really leggy and it's got like lots of rubber legs and stuff in it. It's a variation of other ones that are out there. It's just my version, that's all. But it just shows you how I tie it compared to some other people, and some other people tie it the same way. So the only difference is in this video, I didn't have any sticky back flat lead. So normally what I would do is I put a big tungsten bead on, the biggest bead I can get on there. And then I put on a couple, 2-3 layers of sticky back flat lead to give that little hump, form the body shape. And then I start tying my fly, but I ran out of the sticky back flat lead, so I did it without, but it'll give you the gist of the idea of how to do it. You just have to add the sticky back underneath it. I do a full layer, then a 3/4 layer, then a half layer, and done, right? And I explain that throughout the video. So super heavy, super heavy, great for faster runs and deeper pools in the rivers. Just chuck this one about 45 degrees upstream, give her a quick mend and let this thing bounce across the bottom. Super easy to tie, and the reason behind that is because you're going to lose some, because this is bouncing right on the rocks. So, all right, hope you guys enjoy this one. Let's get tying. All right, today in the vise we have an Ahrex FW540 in a size 8. I tie these in a 6, 8, and 10, no smaller. I want these big stonefly, big meal. I use the biggest bead I have, which I can't even remember what size this one is, but that's the biggest I have. And usually I put some sticky back flat lead in behind here, but I don't have any. So, so this will be for a little shallower water. I like having these heavy. So I'm using some Semperfli Nano Silk in olive. Whatever tying thread you like, just make sure it's nice and strong, and in olive color for this one. Just going to start my thread, cut off my tag end, come back to the eye, and then I'm going to get some of this hairline crazy legs pumpkin olive with black flake. And get one of those and just kind of get that tied into that side. Kind of make sure it tries to stay on that side, and then bring this one over onto this side and kind of try to force it to this side here. There we go. And then come back, do your whip finish. Your leg doesn't go in there. Cut that off. Bring your bead forward. Take your thread, wax it again. Don't want materials to spin on your hooks, right? So you either have to wax or use like a crazy glue or something. So when you're using these nano silks, these GSPs, slippery threads. Right? So there. So, cut that off. Now I'm going to come back just because I don't want this to move on me more than anything. And I'm just going to create a little bit of a thread dam right behind that bead, just so it doesn't have the opportunity to move around. It's not a huge deal, but. So now I'm going to go back around this corner a bit. Hope I don't run out of nano silk, because we're getting pretty close here on this thread, on this roll. And I'm just going to stay in the same spot and create just a slight little bump. Probably going to take 20 or 30 turns. Actually, I'm going to cut those roughly to length. It's still a little long, but that's okay. Just to get them out of the way. Just a little bit of a bump. Okay, and then come forward a bit. Get another one of those crazy legs, and pretty well do the same thing you did in the front, just right at that bulge, at that bulb that you created. Right there at that bulb you created. So I'm on my side first. There we go. And then come back over top a little bit. And then put this one down on your side. Make sure it kind of stays on your side there, back up against that bulge. You want it to kind of get forced outward. There we go. Okay, same thing here. Just give them a rough cut. They're going to be long, but it's okay. They're out of the way then. Okay, now I take some of the Simplify Oliver Edwards substitute. It's Racophilia green, just a chenille. Now, if I'm going, like if I would have went to a size 6, I'd use this whole thing. But because it's not, I unspun and it's only 2 layers instead of 4. Okay. So now I'm just going to go all the way forward. Just tie this in, and this is just for keeping the body roughly the same size. That's all it is. Come back right to your back legs there. Okay, and then come forward a bit. Just do a couple of turns, come back. Now, you can tie the legs all in first. I personally don't like doing that. I find it a real pain in the butt. I find this much, much easier. So, again, same thing. Tie it in on my side. Right back up against that chenille that I just did on your side. It's a little bit low on your side there. There we go. Your side. Now take my chenille again. Just come back over, do a turn and a half or so. Right to the front there, 2 turns. And then tie that off. Okay, and another set of legs. Cut this because it's a full one. It's just going to get in my way if I don't. And just make sure this is right again along my side. And then put this up and over onto your side. And whip finish right in front of it there. Put a couple of turn whip finish in. Just make sure they're kind of where you want them. It really, in the long run, it doesn't really matter because they're going to all flop around in the water, in the river current, right? So it really doesn't matter if they're not facing the right way, 100%. So now I'm going to cut these a little bit shorter, each one of these. So this pair here, I'm going to lift up without stretching. It's about right. It's about the same length as the front antennae. And these next set here, just going to have one as a comparison. Again, I'm not too overly crazy picky on length. About like that. And then these back ones I like a little bit longer. So it's a little bit of a crazy bug, but I tell you, trout love them. Nuts. So I could have went with a full one on this one, just to get a bit more of a body, a little thicker. But if you've got sticky back flat lead under there, I usually put a whole layer down and then half a layer and then a quarter of a layer. So and it gives it that typical bulge curve caddis look. So then that's why I end up using only 2. In this case, I probably could have used the full 4, but I like it nice and thin like this too because it'll fall through the water system a lot quicker. They're not a very good looking fly. I know that. They're pretty ugly. But these things have worked on river systems around Western North America and throughout North America, actually, for a long, long time. They're a very good style pattern. And it's just materials have changed over the decades. This is probably about a 100-year-old fly, or pretty close, give or take, in this style, just with new materials, right? So you can tie it too if you want the back end and the front end. Instead of using rubber legs, use goose biot, and then just use 2 sets of legs in the middle. But yeah, a little bit of a crazy bug. So hope you guys enjoyed that one. Give that one a shot, especially for your rivers. Add weight to it. Like I said, I don't think I have any that are just like this. All mine that are in my fly box all have sticky back flat lead underneath there and in a taper, so it's got that typical bulged caddis look, right? So, okay. Hope you guys enjoyed that one. If you subscribed, thank you. If you haven't, please consider doing so. It'll really helps the channel out, helps the algorithm. Make sure you give some likes and make some comments, because that really helps the algorithm comments. So, alrighty. Have a good one, everyone. Tie lines. See you on the next tying video.